Hello, boys and girls. This is our video lesson for reading on Wednesday, September 16th. And let's get started by looking at the Wonders presentation. So let me get that up on your screen. Okay, so this week we are talking about landmarks, and our essential question is, how do landmarks help us to understand our country's story? So let's look at today's presentation. Okay, and we're going to review some vocabulary. Remember that we do have a vocabulary quiz every Friday. So read each definition, then choose the correctly spelled compound word that matches the definition. I'm sorry, these are spelling words. Longing for home or family. Homesick. Is it this one or this one? Homesick. We have a long O. Remember, when we have long O, we usually have O, a consonant, and then an E. So I think it's this one that is spelled correctly. Let's check.
Fantastic.
Okay, let's keep going. Tracks for trains to use. Railroad or railroad. We're doing compound words, so it must be this one.
Good job.
Day of someone's birth. Birthday.
Excellent work.
Light of day. Daylight, not day's light, just one day. Daylight.
Excellent work.
Okay. Place where mail can be sent or picked up. Post office or post office? Do you think it's a compound word or two words? You can try a compound word and see what happens.
That's not it.
Uh-oh.
Try again.
Okay, let's try again. Post office is two separate words. Okay. A tub for bathing in. A bathtub or a bath tube? Bathtub.
Fantastic.
Shelter for a dog. Dog house with a hyphen or just dog house? I think it's just
Excellent work.
Okay. Far away in time or space. Far off with a hyphen or far off, a compound word? What do you think? Should we try the compound word?
That's not it.
Oh,
Try
that
again.
wasn't it. So it must be far off, must have a hyphen. That's the little dash is called a hyphen. Okay, we got it that time. Okay, the time when the sun goes down. Sunset or sunset? I think sunset is just one word, one compound word.
Good job.
Okay. Paper printed with news stories. Is it newspaper, two words, or is that a compound word? I think that's a compound word. The main business part of a city, downtown or downtown? I think it's the downtown area.
Good job.
Book for taking notes. Is that a notebook or a notebook? It's a notebook.
Excellent work.
Traffic signal. Is that a stoplight or a stop light? L-I-T-E. I think we spell light like a stop light, L-I-G-H-T. So I'm going to choose the top one.
Excellent work.
Okay, a ride that spins in a circle. Merry-go-round or merry-go-round? This one looks kind of all squished together. I like how this one looks more. Let's try that one.
Good job.
A place where kids play. A playground or a playground? I think that's a compound word.
Good job.
Okay, light on the front of a car. Headlight with a hyphen or headlight compound word? Well, I think it's a compound word.
Good job.
Okay, school grades 9 to 12. Is that a high school or high school, H-I hyphen school? That one doesn't look too familiar to me, so I think high school is two words.
Good job.
Okay, read each definition. Oh, sorry, small house for birds. That would be a birdhouse. Is it 2 words or a compound word? I'm going to choose compound word.
Good job.
Paved path for walking. Sidewalk with a hyphen or sidewalk a compound word? I think it's sidewalk
Good job.
compound word. Schoolwork done at home. Homework or homework? Yeah, homework.
Good job.
Front window of a car. Windshield, windshield. What's the difference between these two? Oh, shield, I-E or E-I? Remember, it's I before E, except after C, or when it says A, as in neighbor. So it's not windshield, there's no C here, so it's I before E.
Great job.
Okay, writing done by hand. Handwriting or handwriting? I think it's a
Good
compound
job.
word. Game played by shooting baskets. Basket hyphen ball or compound word basketball? I think it's a
Good
compound word.
job.
Child who is 9 years of age. 9-year-old with hyphens or dashes, or 9-year-old all squished together. I don't know, this one just doesn't look good to me. This one looks good, so I'm going to choose that one.
Good job.
Without socks or shoes. Barefoot or barefoot? So it looks like we have homophones here. Bear, B-E-A-R, that means the bear, the animal. B-A-R-E, that means nothing on it. So do I mean I have a foot of a bear, or do I mean I have a foot with nothing on it? I think I have a foot with nothing on it.
Good job.
Something made in the home. Homemade or homemade? I'd still guess that these are mostly compound words, so I'm going to try that one and see
Fantastic.
how that works out. Good. Okay, when the whole moon is lit up, is that a full moon or a full moon with a hyphen? I don't know. Let's guess one.
Great
All
job.
right, 2 words. Okay, a board with 4 wheels. Is that a skateboard or a scatboard? I need this E to make my a long vowel. Skateboard.
Good job.
Okay, using the latest information, up to date or up to date. I don't think up to is a word by itself, so I'm going to choose this one with the hyphens.
Fantastic.
And our last one, Saturday and Sunday, weekend or weekend. I'm still going to stick with my strategy that most of these are compound words, and I'm going
Great
to choose
job.
awesome. All right. That one is done. All right. We're going to skip this one. Okay, and I'm going to make sure you guys are seeing this. No, not that one. Let me try again. All right, and here we have our graphic organizer. So we're going to be reading a story today, and we're going to be filling in this graphic organizer. So you have this graphic organizer as an assignment. So we're going to work on this together in a little bit. All right, so our story for today is called A Mountain of History. Have any of you ever seen this before? This is Mount Rushmore, and it's a monument to some presidents. So let's read this story and see what we can learn.
Genre, expository text, time for kids. A Mountain of History. Mount Rushmore honors 4 special United States presidents. They are George Washington, Thomas Jefferson, Theodore Roosevelt, and Abraham Lincoln.
All right, so this George Washington, Thomas Jefferson, Theodore Roosevelt, and Abraham Lincoln. This is expository text, so that means that this is nonfiction. This is about something real. And it's probably going to teach us something. So it's going to teach us about Mount Rushmore. Let's look at our essential question.
Essential question. How do landmarks help us understand our country's story? Read about Mount Rushmore National Memorial. Find out what it tells us about United States history.
Okay.
How can a mountain be a monument? Every year, millions of people travel to Mount Rushmore. It is a mountain in the Black Hills of South Dakota. What is so important about this mountain? The heads of 4 United States presidents have been carved into its side. Mount Rushmore is a national landmark. It is also a national treasure. Rushmore's birth. An artist named Gutzon Borglum designed the monument about 80 years ago. He chose the 4 presidents. They were symbols of our country's best qualities. George Washington led the new nation. Abraham Lincoln ended slavery. He kept the nation together during the Civil War. Thomas Jefferson helped our country grow. Theodore Roosevelt saved land for parks. These leaders stand for the first 150 years of American history. People from all over visit South Dakota's Mount Rushmore National Memorial.
Hey, has anyone ever been to Mount Rushmore? This is a place that I would like to go someday, but I have never been there yet. But I would like to see this amazing carving. So let's look at our vocabulary words. We do have carved. So what does carved mean? They carved the stone or they cut it in order to make these statues in the mountain. And national means it has to do with the nation or the whole country.
Stop and check. Ask and answer questions. Why are the 4 presidents on Mount Rushmore symbols of our country? Reread to find your answer.
Okay, so let's reread. Why did they choose these 4? George Washington, because he led a new nation. Abraham Lincoln, because he ended slavery and kept the nation together during the Civil War. Thomas Jefferson, because he helped the country to grow. And Theodore Roosevelt, because he saved land for parks. So that's how those 4 presidents were chosen. Let's continue reading.
Carving a monument. Creating Mount Rushmore was a big job. First, the artist made small models of the faces. He used them to guide the workers. The workers used dynamite to carefully blast away the rock. Then they used tools to carve the faces into the massive mountain. 400 people worked for 14 years to finish the grand sculpture. The monument cost almost $1 million. Think big. Just how big are the faces on Mount Rushmore? Really big. The faces of the presidents are 60 feet tall. That is as tall as a 6th-floor building. Their noses are 20 feet long. Their mouths are 11 feet wide. 400 stone workers helped carve the faces. Workers had to climb up 500 feet above the ground to carve the faces.
Wow, that's pretty amazing, isn't it? So it's really big. So what does massive mean? Yes, really big. A grand sculpture means that it is something amazing or not ordinary. So we can see just how big the faces are by looking at this man here. He's much smaller than even the nose on this face. So these are very, very large.
Native American history. Native Americans lived in the Black Hills long before Mount Rushmore was built. It was a special place for them. It is important to learn about Native Americans and their history. For this reason, the monument includes a Native American heritage village. Visitors can see teepees. They can find traces of Native American life long ago. The heritage village gives clues to the past. It teaches visitors even more about Mount Rushmore and our country's history. Discover the facts. Most people visit Mount Rushmore in the summer. Park rangers talk about the history of the mountain. Visitors can visit the museum to learn more. They can discover facts about the presidents. They can also visit the artist's studio. Mount Rushmore is an important landmark. It is a symbol of our country's history, and it reminds people of 4 great presidents. Native Americans teach visitors about their culture at the Heritage Village.
Okay, we had a couple of vocabulary words here. Traces. So traces are like little small things left behind. So footprints could be traces left by an animal or a person. Clues are like hints. So if I give you a clue to the answer on the test, I'm giving you a hint. And then a landmark is a special place on the land that is usually some kind of a monument to someone or something in history. Okay, respond to text.
Respond to the text. Use important details from the selection to summarize. Why is a mountain of history a good title for this selection? Why do so many people visit monuments and landmarks?
Okay, so I think we can summarize by saying that this is a story about Mount Rushmore and how it was built and what it stands for. A mountain of history is a good title because this is a mountain, but it's teaching us about something historical or some history of our country. And people visit monuments and landmarks, I think, because they want to learn about the things that they represent. So they want to learn the history or learn about the events that are memorialized or honored there. Okay, and we'll read that one tomorrow. So let me come back to you. Hi there. And so let's take a look at that graphic organizer together. Maybe not that one. Or that one. Okay, we'll get there, I promise. Okay, here is our graphic organizer. Okay, so we want to fill it in with some main ideas and details about our story. Look real quick. And let's work on this together. Let me find the story. Have to be in the right week to find the right story. Okay, so let's talk about the size of the heads on Mount Rushmore. So we're just looking at the part of the story that was called Think Big. So let me read that part to you again. Just how big are the faces on Mount Rushmore? Really big. The faces of the presidents are 60 feet tall. That is as tall as a 6th floor building. Their noses are 20 feet long. Their mouths are 11 feet wide. So what is my main idea just in this section called Think Big? I think my main idea is that the faces on Mount Rushmore, are they big or not big? Yes, they're really big. Now, what are some details that support that idea, or things from this section that show us that that is what this is about? So what are some details that prove that the faces are really big? Well, it says the faces of the presidents are 60 feet tall. Is that big? Yes. The faces of the presidents are 60 feet tall. Move that down so I can read it a little bit. Okay, so that's one detail. Did they tell us anything else about how big the faces were? Let's look again. Okay, the faces of the presidents are 60 feet tall. We used that one. That is as tall as a 6th-floor building. Their noses are 20 feet long. Is that telling us about how big they are? I think it is. Their noses are 20 feet long. Okay, and then do we have a third detail? Why it just doesn't want to stay where I want it. Okay, so then it says their mouths are 11 feet wide. Is that telling us how big it is? Sure. Their mouths are 11 feet wide. So our details are things from the story that prove that our main idea is the faces on Mount Rushmore are really big. So they wanted to tell us that the faces were really big, and they gave us details that proved that. They didn't just tell us that was true and move on. They gave us some supporting details. So this is how you should fill out your graphic organizer. All right. You also have a long O compound word worksheet to do. So let's take a quick look at that. So here we're going to read each sentence, circle the word that has the long O sound and underline the long O spelling. Write the word on the line. Okay, and we are going to just write the word on the line. We are not going to bother with the underlining and the circling. So what time will you be home? So we're looking for that long O sound. So what does that say? O? Time will you be home? Home says the long O sound. Home says O. So I'm going to type the word home in the box. So in each sentence, I am looking for the word with the long O sound, and I'm going to type it into the box. For part B, I'm going to use the words from the box to make the best compound word, and then write the compound word on the line. So let's look at number 1. Home plus something is going to give us a compound word. Home time, home crow, home bowl, home boat, home book, homemade. I think homemade is the best compound word. So I'm going to type made here, and then I'm going to over here type in my one compound word that I made by adding home and made together. Okay, so that's what you're going to do on part B. So you can go ahead and finish that one on your own and then turn it in. Oh, I think I forgot to share this one with you. Let me go back. Okay, so here, what time will you be home? We were looking for the long O sound, and that was in home. Here we were adding home, finding a word from the box that made a compound word. We chose home plus made and got homemade. Okay, sorry about that. Let's look at your last worksheet on your reading assignment for today. Hopefully you see this one this time and not like last time. So let's make this a bit bigger so we can take a look at it. All right, so these are our long O spelling words, and you're going to write the spelling words that contain the matching spelling pattern for the long vowel sound. So long O that is spelled O-A. So let's look at our spelling words. Sold, that has a long O, but I don't see O-A. Float, that has a long O, and I do see an O-A. So it looks like float could be one of my words in this category. Our next category is long O, spelled O-L-D. So we're going to look for a word with O-L-D. On our very first word, sold, has a long O, spelled O-L-D. So we're going to type sold in that box. Okay, long O spelled O blank E. So we're looking for a word with an O, then another letter and an E. Let's see, broke. Do I have O and another letter E? I do. So I'm going to use broke here. And O spelled O-W. Sold, float, broke, coal, slow. Ah, I see an O-W here, so it looks like slow could go in this category. And then I'm looking for a long O spelled O-E. O-E. Sold, float, broke, coal, slow. I'm not seeing O-E on any of these. Foe. Here it is. O-E. Let's put foe in this box. Okay, so you can continue and finish each group. Then part B, you're going to compare the words slow and foe. How are they alike? How are they different? So tell me something that's the same about slow and foe, and then tell me something that is different about slow and foe. Perhaps do they have the same long vowel sound? Maybe. Are they spelled the same or different? I think you could use all of that information to answer part B. All right, let me come back to you. All right, so those are your reading assignments for today, and you can go back to the video and listen to A Mountain of History again and follow along so that you can answer any questions that you have. All right, that's it for reading for today, and I will see you soon. Goodbye.